Good morning, children. Today we are going to start the third poem, that is Rain on the Roof. Now, before we start the poem, just see the heading, Rain on the Roof. By the heading of the poem only, you can understand that the poem is about rain. And when the rain falls on the roof, how does the poet realize or goes back into his childhood memory? The poem tells us what the poet is thinking about when he hears the sound of the rain falling. The poem also praises the healing power of nature. So now let us start with the first stanza of the poem. When the humid shadow hovers all over the starry sphere, and the melancholy darkness gently weeps in rainy tears. What a bliss to press the pillow of a cottage chamber bed and lie listening to the patter of the soft rain overhead. So now let us start with the explanation of this stanza. First, I would like to explain all the difficult words which are used here. Hover. Hover means to move around something or to surround something. Then starry sphere. Starry means sky. Starry sphere means the stars which appear in the sky. And melancholy. Melancholy means sad. Bliss. Bliss means happiness or joy or something which gives pleasure. And patter. Patter is the sound of the raindrops which generally fall. If the roof is made out of tin sheeting or asbestos, then when the water or the rain falls on it, you will get a sound, and that sound is called as patter. So now let us start with the explanation of the stanza. Now look at the first line. When the humid shadow hovers. Okay, humid means something which has lot of moisture. Shadows. Shadows here is not actually the shadow of human being, but here shadow refers to clouds. And hover means which is surrounded, moves around. So here the poet is saying when the humid clouds are when the humid clouds are surrounding over all the starry sphere. Starry sphere means the sky which is having stars in it. So here in the first two line the poet is saying when the humid shadow hovers all around the starry sphere, when the humid shadow surrounds all around the sky, and the melancholy sad darkness gently weeps in rainy tears. And so now here melancholy darkness. Now here melancholy means sad, and so here the poet is sad due to some reason. The poet is sad. He is just sitting in his room and he is just looking through his window, and through his window he can see that the dark clouds are surrounded the full sky. The dark clouds are all over the sky, and so the place or the weather is completely in dark. Okay, darkness is referring to the dark which is outside, and is also referring to sadness, because whenever black color or darkness is generally symbol of sadness. So here darkness is also referring to the clouds, dark clouds which are outside, and it is also referring to the sadness of the poet. So here the poet is sad due to some reason. So that's why he's saying, and the melancholy darkness, and the darkness which is outside, and the sadness which is in the poet gently weeps in rainy tears. Now here the poet is trying to say that because he is sad, because the poet is sad, the nature also is understood his mood, and the nature also has become sad. And to show that the nature is with the poet, the nature is crying. In what form the nature is crying? By shedding tears. In what form the nature is shedding tears? In the form of rains. So the raindrops which is falling, the poet is considering it as the tears. And so he's saying, because he is sad, the nature also is showing that the nature is accompanying him, is understanding his sadness, and the nature also has become sad and is crying. For that's why here the poet is saying gently weeps. Weeps mean cries. Who is crying? The nature or the clouds are crying, and in the form of tears, that is the raindrops which are falling on the earth are considered to be tears of the clouds. So here the poet is saying that he is sad, he is sitting in his room, and he is just looking out of the window. He is sad, and the nature has understood his sadness, and so the nature is accompanying him. The nature is also feeling sad, and how it is showing that the nature is accompanying him, or how the nature is showing that the nature is also sad with him? By shedding tears. Now here the mood of the poet little changes, and so he says, what a bliss to press the pillow. Okay, now here the poet is saying it is a pleasure when it is raining outside and when it is dark outside. It is a pleasure to just sit on your bed. Okay, of a cottage chamber bed. Cottage chamber means a small room in which a bed is there, and so the poet he says that it is a very pleasant memory, it is a very happiness moment, it is a very joyful and pleasant moment just to take a pillow and just put your head on it, just rest on the pillow and to listen to the patter of the raindrops and lie listening to the patter of the soft rain overhead, and just lie, close your eyes and put your head on the soft pillow and just listen to the sound of the rain which is falling on the roof overhead. And so here the poet is, because he was very sad, and he just takes the pillow, he puts it head on it, closes his eyes and just listens to the sound of the rain. And as he is listening to the sound or the pattering of the rain on the roof, slowly his sadness, his anxiety, his tension starts releasing. For that's why here nature has been given the power of healing. Healing means to cure. Okay, whenever anyone is sad or depressed, and when they go close to nature, when they say the beauty of nature, that anxiety, that tension releases. So here the poet, once again I am repeating the explanation of the full stanza, that the poet is just in his chamber, in his room, small room, and he is having to see over, he is supposed to see through the window, and what he sees that the clouds are fully surrounding the, or are covered the sky. Okay, the even the stars cannot be visible, and he says that he is so sad, he is so depressed, that his depression, his sadness has been transferred to the nature, and the nature also is accompanying him. The nature also is showing that the nature is with him, is in his sadness, and for that's why the nature is shedding tears in the form of rain. It is, the nature is weeping, crying and shedding tears in the form of rain. And then the poet's mood changes a little, and he says it is a pleasure to rest on the pillow and to enjoy the sound of the rain which is falling on the roof, because this sound releases the tension and the pressure which is inside a person. So now let us see the rhyming scheme of the poem. Here, because the words are completely different in all the lines, you can see first is hover, so we can place A there. Second is spear, both the words are not rhyming with each other, so it is B. Darkness, again darkness is neither rhyming with hover nor with spear, so it is completely a different word, so it is C. Now tears, tears is rhyming with spear, so because spear is B, tears will also be B. Pillow, again pillow is a new word, neither it is rhyming with A, B nor C, so it is a D. Bed, again bed is not rhyming with anyone, so it is E. Patter, again the same thing, not rhyming with A, B, C, D, E, so it is F. Overhead, overhead is rhyming with bed, so it is E. So the rhyming scheme of this stanza is A, B, C, B, D, E, F, E. Now come to the poetic devices which are used in this stanza. Now the poetic device which is used in this stanza is alliteration. You can see I have marked in the first line humid and hover. Both the words start with the consonant letter H. Next line starry spear. S is again repeated, so it is alliteration. What is alliteration? When the consonant letter is repeated in the same line. Okay, it is not a word. If a word is repeated, then it would be repetition, because the alphabet is repeated here, and that also the alphabet should be a consonant, not a vowel. Then it is repetition. Alliteration. Then the next line is press pillow. The alphabet P is again used here twice, and then the last second line lies listening. So in these lines alliteration is the poetic device which is used. Now here you are going to learn one new poetic device. Till now whatever poem you all have learned, in that this poetic device is not used. So here it is a new poetic device, and which is pronounced as onomatopoe. It is pronounced as onomatopoe. Now onomatopoe is a poetic device in which the sound of any animal or any bird or anything is used in the poem to describe something. Like here, patter. Patter is the sound of the rain, and which is describing the sound of the rain. Okay, by listening to the patter means by listening to the sound of the raindrop. So here the poetic device which is used is onomatopoe. Another poetic device is also used in this line. In the line gently weeps in rainy tears. Now here weeps, rain cannot weep means rain cannot cry. Okay, neither rain has tears. So here you can see that the rain is personified. The poet has personified the rain, means the rain has been given the character of a human being, that is to weep and to shed tears. So the another poetic device which is used here is personification. So I hope children you all have understood till here. Listen to the explanation once again. Write down the summary of the stanza. Write down all the poetic devices, and in the next class we will continue with the next